It's interesting, because Elon did say it was the beginning of last year. He said, "Look, if I don't get 25% voting power, I'm not comfortable putting Optimus with Tesla." But now what we're seeing is Elon's going heavy on Optimus in Tesla. So it looks like they've already talked about. I'm just guessing here, but the way it's looking like they've already talked about it internally, and they've already came up with some deal that, as you mentioned, in Texas, they could come with another second pay package, which I do think is going to happen too. That Elon is going full force with humanoid robots in Tesla. So, and as well as just today, I think Walter Isaacson was talking about Elon will merge XAI with Tesla. So,
well, I saw that, and I mean, it sounds compelling. I have no opinion on that yet, but what I do have an opinion about is we were supposed to have the proxy end of April. We're now end of May. These large corporations have to have their shareholder meetings more or less exactly around the same time every year. If you don't do that, you have to inform the SEC why you're late. You inform the SEC either by an SEC filing or because in your quarterly filings, you insert a phrase explaining what you're doing. So what they did is in the 10Q in April, they said, oh, we put in place a special committee to rediscuss a new compensation, to discuss the compensation of Elon. They were very vague of how, is it compensation package number 2, number 3, is it Class B shares, whatever. There are nothing, no details. But that allowed them to install a special committee. The special committee means now we have the special committee who has to very precisely document what they're doing every day, discussing in the special committee. But it gives you this flexibility to extend the time until you launch the proxy, and then 6 weeks later you have the shareholder meeting. And why is that so important? Because once the proxy is printed, is PDF'd now, then people vote on it. Then the 10 million retail shareholders vote on it, and the institutional shareholders, who have about short to 5,000 institutional shareholders vote on it. So once it is written, you can't change it anymore. Then people vote on it. So we're currently in this preliminary phase where it's not written yet. And what happens there? So from experience, because, I was a fund manager, but not for these huge funds, there is now discussions at very high level. They have come up with a strategy A, with a strategy B, with a strategy C, and they're talking to the Vanguards and Fidelities and State Streets and BlackRocks of this world and saying, look, this is what we would like to do. And Vanguard, you have 9.5%. Would you vote yes for that? And then Vanguard closes the door and discusses what they can do and comes back and said yes or no, or don't you have a plan B or whatever. So I think we're in this merchandising, of this market where everybody is trying to get in what they want. And at the same time, the Tesla board making sure they have, at least on the institutional side, the numbers we have. And then the second phase is us retails making sure we vote for it. But until it's printed, they can still accommodate ideas. That's what I'm trying to say. So, and I think they're currently in this phase of testing, balloon testing of what will get approval or not. Or maybe, for example, last year when we voted on the 2018 shareholder package and on moving to Texas, there were suddenly proposals, I think it was number 5 and 6, that I'd never heard before. And I was thinking, my gosh, where did this come from? One of them was that the board members would not be voted every 3 years, but every year. And I thought, that's a strange request, right? So obviously somebody had brought that up. And I think that's and it was only advisory. It was not a mandate to do so. So I think this is what typically happens in these pre-periods, where then the big funds come back to them and say, look, if you write it like this and this, we can vote for it, but please also insert a number 5 point of this and this, right? And that's how this all comes together. So we're in this period where they are working on the proxy. We're in this period, surprise, surprise, where Elon suddenly goes in the same morning twice into interviews, one with Faber on CNBC, one at that summit, which is exactly for this reason. It's talking to these institutions, reassuring them, making sure, they understand he's back at Tesla, working hard. Yesterday evening, he was going against the big, beautiful bill. I think that is also very smart of him, because now it positions him a little bit as the arbiter of Trump. Is Trump doing everything Good? No, but he could do better, right? So he's not suddenly only the fanboy of President Trump. He's suddenly becoming somebody who is actually an important person to move things around. So I think this period is highly interesting. It's also a highly bullish period, because you will see, you've never seen Elon more motivated than from now to that shareholder vote, because he wants this controlling power. He needs this controlling power, because in the next 12 months, the rollout of Optimus is happening, right? So whatever happens now, this is, in my view, I mean, I said last year it's the most important shareholder vote. It could well be this year.
Incredible. If Optimus actually happens within 12 months, I would be shocked.
Oh, it will. We'll have thousands. We'll have 1,000 by the end of this year.
Oh, if that actually happens, I don't know what to say. I would be actually speechless. Because I'm not ready for it. Like, I'm not, like, my mind is still comprehending the robotaxi stuff. The bot, my mind can't comprehend it.
Can you imagine, Pejjy, and you're interested in this every day. Can you imagine 99% of the people out there who have no idea?
Oh my God. Once they know, I don't think, what's the stock right now? Like 350 or something? I don't think... I don't think it's gonna be this low. Oh my God. No, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. Me, on behalf of all retail Tesla investors, I have to thank you for really pushing for us voting for this, because I mean, I didn't really know that I could actually vote. I thought it had to be through mail or something, until you told me that, no, you can do it through, whatever brokerage you are. And I'm just like, huh. And then you send me a few links, I think. And then I'm just like, huh. And then I voted. I voted all my shares and my brother's shares and my friend's shares. All of them. All of them, yeah.
And this year again, please. Yes.
We'll do it again. It was so easy too. I thought it was going to be much harder, but it was so easy.